Hello, Cathy here, and welcome to another episode. And I am walking to the cinema with special guest mother Linda.
Hey, happy to be back.
Welcome back. And we are very excited because we are going to one of these parent-baby screenings at 11 in the morning. So you bring the baby in, the cinema's dimmed, they can cry all they want, hopefully he won't cry, and you get cake and coffee.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, we're excited.
Good. Movie is secondary.
Yeah, movie is secondary. And the movie is one that neither of us would have picked, which is Victoria and Abdul, the new Judi Dench movie. Mom had never heard of it.
No, I hadn't, no.
No, and I had kind of seen a trailer for it and dismissed it as something I would never watch. And look at me now. So it's Judi Dench is playing Queen Victoria for the second time, because she played her in a 1997 movie called Mrs. Brown. Did you see that movie?
I didn't, no.
No, me neither. And this is a movie about her playing the older Queen Victoria, who befriends a young Indian Muslim, and he becomes sort of an advisor to her, I think. It's based on a true story. It's getting criticism around its depiction of race and how Britain treated the colonies. So yeah, should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not that I wouldn't watch it, but it's not when I would generally go to the cinema. I might watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be okay. I had a quick look on the internet, though. It's not rating that highly.
No.
6.7-ish on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. And I think, my only concern, I love Judi Dench, is that I hope it doesn't just become sort of a portrait of her characterization and her acting and sort of a spin-off or an award for her.
Yeah, I feel like it's just going to be like an Oscar reel.
I hope it's not, because I mean it is an opportunity to explore relationships and that part of history and see where that takes us. So look, I'm looking forward to it. It is a lovely cinema.
Yeah.
I've slept in it before.
Yes, the Everyman Walton.
It's extremely comfortable. It's fun to be out in the morning, and do you know, I think it's always a good theme. I like those colonial stories, so hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah, okay, bye.
Bye.
No one really knows what it's like to be queen.
Mother.
Are you spying on me? Everyone I've loved has died, and I just go on and on. What is the point?
Service, Your Majesty. We are here for a greater purpose.
You are a servant no longer. You will teach me Urdu and the Quran.
You've upset the order of everything. Drop this Indian peasant, or we will have you certified insane.
Hello, I'm back with my mum Linda.
Hey.
And we are out of Victoria and Abdul, a very long movie that we are not going to do we'll do spoilers for.
I don't think there's
not much to spoil.
There's not a whole lot of spoiler.
So if you don't want to know, mild spoilers, turn off now. First of all, successful cinema screening in that the baby slept the entire time.
Yes. Yeah. And again, I'm just going to start right in there with my review of the cinema. It's just so comfortable, and they actually delivered us coffee and cake to our armchairs and
amazing.
Our couches. So it was a very comfortable experience.
Very
That's what
nice.
I'll start
yes,
with.
Everyman Walton. And actually the sound, a lot of babies crying, didn't bother me, maybe because I didn't particularly care to listen to the dialogue of the movie.
At one point I looked around and half of the cinema were standing up rocking babies. It was so fun.
So funny. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I actually don't know. Even as I was watching the end of it, thinking I don't even know what to make of it. I kept getting sort of confused in that if it were fiction, I would have been able to settle in and really like it, because it was in part slapstick and part funny and part moving, and certainly a beautiful performance by Judi Dench, which if anything was understated and soft and gentle. But then every now and then it would whack into me, oh wait, this is Queen Victoria, and everything that went around Queen Victoria and the historical part of it would then sort of jolt me, and she wasn't a soft, emotional queen from what I know.
Yeah.
So I would have to say I was a little bit, it was kind of a seesaw effect. I'd get caught up in the actual relationships or the drama as it was unfolding, and then I'd get thrown into the reality and the vast 99% that wasn't being shown in the movie.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And did you enjoy it though?
I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I thought it was well done. I thought that in parts it sort of went more towards a little bit of slapstick or carry on up the river, or one of those carry-on movies at parts. It had a lot of that whole British slapstick and a little bit of over-dramatisation. So I can't say I loved it, but I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, and it's interesting because I imagine it's aimed at your age group and above. What do you think?
I don't know.
I would imagine, the audience is, this is just a guess, older, female, skewed.
No idea why you're saying that, but yeah, I'm curious.
It just felt like that kind of thing to me. Do you know what? I kind of enjoyed elements as well, and at the start I thought, oh, this is okay. And it was definitely a good movie to go and see in that environment, because, as I said, it didn't really matter if you put missing dialogue and stuff. But the longer it went on, because it was very long, by the end I was totally done with it. I enjoyed the initial setup, because I thought Judi Dench and the lead actor, whose name escapes me, he's a successful Bollywood actor, and I thought he was really good. I thought they had really good chemistry, so I enjoyed them getting to know each other. And then, it's same as you, I kept thinking, oh, this is weird, because it's about Queen Victoria, and I have to say I don't know very much about her, or about the Indian colony as they were, but because I've seen enough articles of people cross about the depiction of the relationship, that was kind of in the back of my mind. And it all seemed a bit, oh, she's a lovely, sweet old woman, and isn't this really nice that she's made a little Muslim friend and he's teaching her his language, and I don't know, it was all a bit like saccharine, and I kind of was wondering what the point of the movie was. Were they trying to make us like Queen Victoria, or were they trying to be funny, because it wasn't quite funny enough? And then it was all that pompish British kind of Downton Abbey kind of vibe to it as well, that I'm not really into. And then there was a whole rake of characters of whom we could not make out who they were. There was something like 15 to 20 sub-characters.
I think a lot of them, she did say she had 8 or 9 children. I think they were all around with their spouses. There was a lot of people just waiting for her to die, which, spoiler, she died. In a very beautiful, moving scene, she died. And I guess I'm a little bit confused as to, I think it was based on his memoirs, how much of it is true, how much of it is his like rose tinted, and
that's what I kept thinking. Really, did she do all this for this guy?
And then I had the same thought, which was, why did they make this movie? I certainly didn't feel it was aimed at my age group, so that's an interesting to hear.
Who do you think it was aimed at?
I have no idea who it was aimed at. I literally couldn't figure it out.
Is it just aimed at getting Judi Dench an Oscar?
It's a possibility, and fair play. She played it beautifully, and joking aside, we were amazed that any actress, she was so old and she was morbidly obese in it, and she had the camera literally right up her face, and we were like, whoa, there's real dedication to your craft to be so close up. Now I guess that's my vanity speaking.
I know, I wouldn't let them get a camera up like that. And even they kind of casually mentioned, oh, there's trouble in Ireland, there's trouble in India. And I guess the impression they were trying to give is that Queen Victoria kind of had nothing to do with it all, and the Prime Minister was the one ruling things, and her son was on his way to be king and he was ruling. And it was almost like the movie's trying to absolve Victoria of anything other than this doddery old woman who made a nice Indian friend.
I didn't get that at all.
Really?
Not at all, no. And she did make one speech when I guess again, spoiler, they were looking at certifying her. They threatened to certify her as insane if she didn't somehow change her mind about where she was going with Abdul, and she gave her, as you sort of said, this is the Oscar speech.
And I noticed you thought I was talking about my Oscar.
No, I didn't.
You?
No.
I knew
you were talking about the Oscar speech. But at that point, she very clearly said who I am. She said, I'm a woman with all these children. I buried these men. I rule these many people.
Yeah.
I'm tough. I'm rough. I'm annoying. I'm fat, but insane I am not. And so I had no doubt that she was the ruler, and this was just her. Something on the side, a bit of nostalgia, and what we saw portrayed there on the screen and in his memoirs was probably a 0.001% of her world. And the rest of it was spanned over a couple of years.
And they did imply that, he was a bit of totty for her. He said he's very handsome and the actor was very good looking.
Yeah.
And I at one point thought they were going to hook up, and then I was like, no, Cathy, you're at the wrong movie.
So I don't know if there was any point to it politically or in this day and age. Now, I have heard, and you said earlier, that some of the claims are about how it portrayed the colony, or there was sort of allegations of racism. But it was a colonial time and it was a racist time, so...
And he didn't get treated well when she was dead.
No, he didn't get treated well while she was alive. He certainly didn't get treated well while she was dead. And
only for her grace was he anything. And I guess that's part of the problem with it, is she decided, I'm going to pluck this guy and I'm going to make something of him, and really the whole thing was a farce.
But she did say it to him. She was no fool. She did say it to him, leave now because there's nobody here going to protect you when I'm gone. And he said, he was an interesting one because he seemed to be committed to service to the crown, despite what happened subsequently in India. And the freedom of India, but he was dedicated to service of his monarch, and even to the extent that after she was gone, he was wholly dedicated to.
He was
serve
treating
his
her
queen.
like a guru, wasn't he?
He was, he was kissing her feet. So, to be honest, I was engaged with it. It was a nice experience. I'm not sorry I went, but I actually have no idea what to make of it.
No, me neither, and I just wouldn't recommend it. Like, as you said, maybe if it was on TV and you've nothing else to be doing. That's about the height of the recommendation I could give it.
Yeah, because it's left me a little bit emotionally unsettled, and that I don't know why it was made.
No.
I'm not sure whether I enjoyed it. I kind of liked the acting.
I was interested enough in it to I'll go off and read about the reality of it and see what actually happened
Yes.
there. Yeah, but I think I'd rather read 2 paragraphs on what actually happened than watch 2 hours of some kind of fantasy about it, which is what this movie was.
Exactly. So I think if there had been a different movie with all that cake and coffee, it would have been a better
more
morning.
fun, yeah.
It would have been a 5-star morning.
Yeah, it would have been.
So look, I'd say if you see it, you'll probably enjoy it, but don't go out of your way to see it.
Don't go out of your way. And I would say don't go at all. And I mean, Oscar's review is he slept through the whole thing, so he thought it was as dull as dishwater.
Yeah, he's like his granny.
Yeah.
It's his favourite sleep spot.
Okay, thanks for coming
All
on
right,
again,
yeah,
Mom.
no, great.
Brilliant. We just had you on last one. And please don't forget to follow us on social media at The Cinemile on Twitter, Facebook and on Instagram. And also don't forget to leave us a review on iTunes. So you search for The Cinemile on iTunes and you can leave us a lovely 5-star review. Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.
I'm 81 years of age. I've had 9 children and 42 grandchildren and have almost 1 billion citizens. I have rheumatism, a collapsed uterus, am morbidly obese, and deaf in one ear. I have known 11 prime ministers and passed 2,347 pieces of legislation. I've been in office 62 years, 234 days. Thus, I am the longest-serving monarch in world history. I'm responsible for 5 households and a staff of over 3,000. I am cantankerous, boring, greedy, fat, ill-tempered, at times selfish and myopic, both metaphorically and literally. I am perhaps disagreeably attached to power, and should not have smashed the Emperor of Russia's egg. But I am anything but insane.